All American halftime show is proof Esau is losing his power. Real quick, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to the Most High Yahawah and His only begotten Son, YAHAWASHI, whom the world ignorantly called Jesus, because the letter J in the English alphabet did not exist 2,000 years ago. Double honors to my elders at Great Millstone, taught me the truth through the Spirit. Singing honors to the elect. Peace and bless to the 1/3 and to the confusion of faces in the 4 corners of the earth. Shalom. Jumping right into it from thedailybeast.com. MAGA's halftime show gets kneecapped before it airs. I mean, American football is Esau's ish, right? They look at it as a military game, in a sense, to the point where they even have military involved in the NFL now as well. But the halftime show is a spectacle for the fans and the viewers. But let's be honest, people don't really understand the truth about halftime shows. There wasn't really halftime shows going back to, I think it was the 80s. Living Color would actually host and entertain via live during the halftime show, during the halftime, I won't say shows back then, of the NFL. So the NFL, you know, like back in the day when they had movies, right? And they have a portion in the movie where it say, now it's time to go to, you know, to the concession stands and go to the restroom. They literally used to have breaks inside of movies. They didn't play the whole movie through. They'll have breaks inside the movies, like how you have halftime in sports, right? So they would literally just have the halftime would be what, for going to the restroom, getting your food and things of that nature. And then I think it was In Living Color would entertain the people live during that time. So then they started having live shows because of who? Jake, because of us Israelites. We were the reason you started having those halftime shows, okay? Nonetheless, though, they always have a performer for the Super Bowl. And this year, the performer was Bad Bunny. Now, me personally, I don't listen to his music. I don't really know what his music is about. I don't know if it's reggaeton. I don't know what it is. But he's still an Ephraimite, meaning he's a so-called Puerto Rican, right? And the word Puerto Rico is actually a proverb, a shameful term to call yourself, because Puerto Rico means rich port. Why do they call it rich port? Because when the Spanish conquistadors and Christopher Colon, or Christopher Columbus for those who know only that name, when they got there to Puerto Rico, they said that children were literally playing with gold nuggets in the river. Like children just, you know, you can just put your hand in the sand and just pick up gold nuggets. So they literally almost killed off all of the people in Puerto Rico. That's why it's getting heavy. The word Ephraim means bountiful. You almost killed off the whole population of Puerto Rico, but Ephraim is also the Northern Kingdom, a part of the 12 tribes of Israel. The head nation of the Northern Kingdom. I'm putting all this into perspective to understand the vitriol, the hate, the disdain the so-called white man, woman, and child have towards us when y'all had us in the captivity. Can you please make it make sense to us? Because you try to look at us in a bad light, looking at us post-slavery with no therapy as a nation, people. And you try to look down on us, but you won't ever speak on what you've done to contribute to our people being in the conditions that we are in today. But I digress, because that's not why we're here right now. Let's get to it. So less than 2 hours before it aired, MAGA Super Bowl halftime show hit a major snag. Pretty much it was supposed to be on Elon Musk's platform, but it didn't go. So they went to their platform. They had about 5 million people viewing, doing their thing. Alright, whatever. But the point is about Bad Bunny. This is funny. Somebody put this: Governor Newsom press office. Even Elon doesn't want to listen to K-Rock. Update: due to licensing restrictions, we are able to stream the All-American Halftime Show on X. They call it the All-American. It's funny. It's us, the All-American Halftime Show. Who are the best freaking players? Slovakia. Now here comes what I want to bring out, the information. because I can care less about that American halftime show. What I was going to say is the American halftime. Let me move my mic. I apologize. The American halftime show, they want to present as if it's all about Edomites. You know how Kid Rock is wearing the American flag suit, and they're saying that's the Trump, like you just saw it, all this and that. At the end of the day, a vast majority of the players on the damn field are Israelites. Like are Israelites, are Jakes. Right? What are you talking about? All American? Hell, if it weren't for us, your sports wouldn't be anything. If it wasn't for us, America wouldn't be anything. Let's get that straight, people. I'm going to always regurgitate this same point. We came up out of hardcore bondage with 50,000 different patents. Okay? 50,000 different patents out of hardcore bondage. Esau, you ain't make shit but the patent office. You stole out of inventions and you put your name on it. Come on, a slave come up with an invention. You think y'all gonna give him the credit? Come on now. But I digress. Now let's go back into Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny is a Hebrew Israelite from the tribe of Ephraim, but known as a Puerto Rican, which is a proverb in the Bible where the Lord said the word will call us in Deuteronomy 28th chapter. But let's get back to what he was saying. This is what he said. Quote, before I say thanks to God, I'm going to say ice out. Unquote. The singer said while accepting the award for Best Musica Urbana Album. We're not savage. We're not animals. We're not aliens. We are humans and we are Americans. Now I have to agree with him about the we're not savage. We're not animals. We're not aliens. Because for one, like I said, I told you about what happened with Christopher Columbus. And he was so wicked and so evil that if you was caught stealing, you know what they would do to your hand? Cut it off. And what is stealing? I don't know. Food to them is still stuff. Or if you didn't make a certain quota that would. I think it was I forgot who it was. They did that in the Congo too. Nasty. Y'all some sick people. The reason why I'm bringing this up because you're the ones who were savages. You're the ones that were. You had bull mastiffs. They were flesh-eating dogs. After you were you did. After you abolished slavery, the 13th Amendment. After you abolished slavery, those dogs, that breed of dog died off down there in those islands. Why is that? Because you were literally feeding them humans, people, us. Savages? Animals? Huh. But understand that we are under curses. Who's really the savage? Who's really the monster? Right? The reason why I brought this up because see, I love what Bad Bunny did with that jersey. Sitting on the goalpost, wearing the it's like a sombrero. You know, that's what Mexicans wear, but we are the same people. It's like a sombrero hat. And think about it, those hats resemble what, like they were working in those fields, the sugarcane fields, the coffee beans and all of that. Think about his performance when he was walking. Didn't it like there was some cornfields or sugarcane and they were working? His whole performance was really like a political stunt, like, yeah, this is what y'all made us do, but y'all calling us aliens and animals and things like that. I know this is quote unquote black, but they call it Black History Month. We're not black, we're Israelites. The tribe of Judah is who you consider black. That's why you come down on us so much, because we're the head tribe of all the tribes. Right? The Lord said, Judah, thy brother, he said, oh, Judah shall rise and thy brother, pretty much said, your brethren shall follow after you. Everybody reenact what we do. Like the term say, everybody want to be a nigga, but they don't want to be a nigga. Right? So, this is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 48 to 51. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. A yoke. I'm just gonna type in yoke of iron. I did this before, but y'all gonna understand why I did this. Yoke of iron. You got people in our land saying that they the Lord's people. Okay, the Lord said this will happen to his people. I'm just typing in. I even type in yoke of iron. Let me see what happens. Yoke of iron. Who they look like? Who they look like? They look like I don't see no small hats. Let me go to the one brother. And what it says at the caption: no other race had yokes of iron on their necks but us. This goes back to the whole transatlantic slave trade, so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans were a part of this transatlantic slave trade. We all speak different languages because we all was conquered by different Edomites from different countries in Europe. Nonetheless, they all still European, whether they're French, English, or Spaniards. They all European. They all Edomites. Check this out. July 4th, 1776. They sold me. July 4th, 2017. You celebrating it? Alright? But nonetheless, let's get back to it. This is valuable information. That's not what I wanted. That is definitely not what I wanted. Going back to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 50. A nation of fierce counsel. I apologize. Let me go back. The Lord shall, verse 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flyeth. The Greco-Roman Empire used the eagle. The Germans used the eagle. And America used the eagle. Same people. Different time. Like that song say, the battlefield is new, but the war is not old. Same battle between Jacob and Esau. Alright. A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor shew favor to the young. And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle and the fruit of thy land. Remember, in the halftime show, you seen them working in those fields. They forced them to work on their own damn fields and to accumulate their own resources for them to take back to King Ferdinand or Queen Isabella of Spain, whoever he had to report to, because he had to get funds in order to keep coming back here. They had to keep coming back with something in order to get funds from whoever they were under rulership of. Continuing. And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle and the fruit of thy land until thou be destroyed, which also shall not leave thee either corn, wine, or oil, or the increase of thy kine, or flocks of thy sheep, until he have destroyed thee. Now, right here, slavery in Puerto Rico, 1493 through 1873, began with the forced labor of indigenous Taino people, transitioning to enslaved Africans that were Israelites, not Africans, for sugar, coffee, and tobacco plantations. It was integral to the Spanish colonial economy, peaking in the 19th century. So going back to what Bad Bunny said, I gotta go back to what that brother said. Like he said, before I say thanks to God, I am going to say ice out. The singer said while accepting the award for Best Musica Urbana Album. We're not savage, we're not animals, we're not aliens, we are humans, and we are Americans. So Esau, you're really the savage, you're really the inhumane one, forced our people, and like I said, man, all of us had to go through it. And this is another proof too to show you that so-called Puerto Ricans today are Ephraimites, because they are heavily used that word Ephraim. Ephraim is also another way of saying or spelling Ephraim, which is the tribe that so-called Puerto Ricans are from. Ephraim. Ephraim is a 100% masculine Spanish origin given name prevalent in Puerto Rico, derived from the Hebrew name Ephraim, meaning fruitful. Come on, y'all, stop playing with me. Stop playing with the spirit. All right, Esau. And remember what Adolf Hitler had said. Well, Adolf Schickelgruber, for those who knew who really was. He was actually one of the top elite. Actually a Rothschild. His mother was a maid, and he was like the illegitimate child of one of them. That's how he got power. But even he said America has God's jewels. He said that in a Time magazine article back in what, like 1930 something, 1938. I don't remember when it was. It was sometime before he took himself out. You know what I'm saying? Nonetheless, let's read this. Ecclesiasticus chapter 10 verse 2 through 4. As the judge of the people is himself, so as Trump is, so are his people. Right? So are the rest of, like I said, when Trump first became president, there were so many people around the United States that were Israelites, so-called Negro Latinos and Native Americans, saying they're seeing nooses. Their white colleagues are being very mean and disrespectful and all, being passive aggressive. They always saw you that way. They always felt like that towards you. It was dormant. But when Trump became president, they started to show their true colors, wearing their MAGA hats, MAGA shirt. When the last time you seen a damn MAGA hat or MAGA shirt anyway? Right? So once again, Sirach 10 and 2. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. Look at the ice. That's pissed me off. In what manner? Come on, man. Salakia, y'all. Alright. So going back. Sirach 10 and 2. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. In addition, though, an unwise king destroyed his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. And who's the highest authority on the earth? The prophets. Okay, remember that. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. So Esau, your time is almost up, because you're literally destroying the earth. And on top of that, you have you have a negative birth rate, meaning that you're passing away. I had indigestion, y'all forgive me. You're passing away, you're dying faster than you're giving birth. Then on top of that, your women are giving birth to our children. If you look at a lot of these girls out here on the internet, they be spazzing and wilding out. A lot of them really got Jake children. Then on top of that, you definitely can't talk about our women. Who is saturated OnlyFans? Your children, your daughters. Shannon Sharp just retired a chick. $20 million. She ain't gotta do it no more. But guess what she was laying with? A Jake. A big burly Jake at that. Crazy. Nonetheless, this is what you've done to people. Royal Decree of Graces of 1815. The Royal Decree of Graces of 1815 is a decree approved by the Spanish Crown in August 1815 to encourage Spaniards and Europeans of non-Spanish origin, pretty much Edomites, but coming from countries in good standing with Spain, to settle in and populate Puerto Rico. Now, why would you have to recruit other people to come in and populate a country or a state or an island that's already been inhabited? Because you've killed off the people. You are some sick bastards, man. And y'all want to, Esau, man, you are truly, the Lord made you perfectly to be the wicked. You are wickedly brilliant in all that you do, and I do mean that with the pun intended. So you had to bring in people because you were cutting off so many people? The same thing you did with the Homestead Act. The 40 acres and the mule was supposed to be for us after the Emancipation and Proclamation. You did the same thing. You went and got Edomites that was in good standing with America as well, and you had them moving to the Midwest. You needed people to fill up the Midwest. You gave them weapons, you gave them land, you gave them money. So when you're looking at all those ranchers in Wyoming, North Dakota, Wisconsin, Oregon, that was supposed to be our land. They gave it to other Europeans. And to this day, these devils make it seem like we don't do nothing, we don't want nothing. The Lord calls you the accuser of thy brethren. You lay a stumbling block before us, and then you say, look, Lord, they eating pork. You selling it in the store, though. Look, Lord, you promote pornography. Look, Lord, you promote PDF files. Look, Lord, no, you're the projection. You're the degenerate. I'm getting a little upset, and I'm still to the point. But nonetheless, this goes back to the reason why I'm making this video. Like they say the halftime show gets kneecapped, which is a lie. It just, you're losing your power. You couldn't have the All-American show at halftime. You couldn't have it. Why? Because you don't have the power anymore like that, man. Yeah, the Lord get to the, yeah, you still rule the world. Yeah, I know. But we have the influence. Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 10. Thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people. I have sinned against thy soul. Woe, which means destruction. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, establish a city by iniquity. How dare you bastards dare call any of us aliens, savages, murderers. And you remember when Trump came in, he was talking about, yeah, when Mexico, south of the border, you know, they're letting in all these drug dealers, all these killers, all these rapists. Lo and behold, we opened up that PDF file. That's crazy, y'all. People use PDF file, they call them pedos, but then you can also say the Epstein file. I'm going to say the PDF files. Look in the PDF files, and lo and behold, you're the rapists. You're the degenerates. Ugh, you disgusting. Anyways, with that being said, I truly pray y'all was edified, fed. Stay in the spirit, don't fear it, just endure it. Ask for forgiveness, pray without ceasing, stay humble, remain diligent. Kwame Allah, Shalom.